Peter Parker just want to take a vacay. He just want to go on vacation with his friends and ask out the girl of his dream. He's just want to be a normal guy. Unfortunately, life hits him with some superhero stuff, so he can't be that normal guy. He can't ask out the girl of his dream. He becomes Spider-Man overseas to protect the world from utter destruction. That's right, for review, Spider-Man Far From Home. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zaka. And what is Movie Breakdowns? It's a movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them a grade, A through F, plus and minus due count. And if there's a movie you want me to review, let me know, and I'll try to get to it as best I can. Put it in the comment section below. I also want to say thank you guys for watching this series. Thank you guys for support. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, it's time to review Spider-Man Far From Home. So, Spider-Man Far From Home. This movie is about, literally what I said in the opening, Peter Parker is going on vacation with his friends. They're going to Italy. They're going to Europe pretty much. They travel around and go abroad. And as he goes overseas, the world's been attacked by these new monsters called elementals. And they are trying to, take over the world. And it's up to Peter Parker and a new guy named Mysterio to save the world together. And can they stop the bad guys? Now, there is a twist in this movie, and I do want to say this is a spoiler-free section. The next part of this video will be spoilered all throughout. But back to the synopsis of the movie. Peter Parker and Mysterio must work together to try to stop the elementals, but there's always a trick up the sleeve, and this movie has those tricks. So first initial thoughts was this movie's kind of a slow-paced movie. It's really slow up front. The first hour and a half is slow until you get to the end of Act 2. The movie picks up and it's like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to see from these characters. This is what I want to see from this movie. The first half of this movie is really slow. It's really like cheesy and kind of like what's the word? Really high schoolish, like a Disney high school movie where you trying to figure out the boy, trying to find a way to get the girl to like him, and he trying to find a way to ask the girl out, and he really wants to ask her out, which is Peter Parker want to ask out Mary MJ. He wants to ask her out so much, but he can't figure out a way to ask her out. And he's going through this and all these issues and stuff like that. And then Nick Fury, you see in the trailer, Nick Fury gets a hold of Peter Parker and says, we need your help. And Mysterio comes out to help out Peter Parker. And I believe the trailer also said there's the multi-universe, stuff like that, different dimensions, all that speculation, stuff like that goes on in this movie. And you're like, what's going on? What's going to happen? How's this movie going to play out? But the first half is really boring. There's a part of the movie I was just like, okay, can we get through this? Oh my gosh, it's taking forever. Okay, there's Mysterio. Alright, there's the first bad guy. And it drags on. And then the second half, it really picks up. I'm like, yes, let's go. I'm in it. I'm in this movie. Now, the actors in this movie are great. Everybody is great. From Jake Gyllenhaal, who plays Mysterio. I really believe in Mysterio to me. From Peter Parker, who's played by Tom Holland, who's also really good. Zendaya, who plays Zendaya, who plays MJ. The whole cast is great. Nick Fury, who is of course played by Samuel L. Jackson. The cast is great. There's a great cast. Everybody in this movie is great. The guy that plays Ned, who is Jacob Batalon, he's good as well. Jon Favreau, who plays Happy Hogan, also good. Like everybody, the actors in the movie is great. Some of the CGI in this movie is not so great. There's a scene in this movie, I'm talking about my spoiler section, where like it's towards the middle of the movie, it's like the beginning of the second half, second act of Act 2, and I'm like, ooh, that's really bad CGI. Why they use this? Also in this movie, Peter Parker got to learn pretty much become more of a hero in this movie. He had to learn that like he had to make difference between his real life and life as Spider-Man, and he also got to find a way to follow the shoes of Tony Stark. In the trailer, they show that Tony Stark is dead because the movie's after Endgame, and the world trying to adapt to Tony Stark being gone. They're trying to figure out who would be the new Iron Man. And then a lot of people in the movie want Spider-Man to be the new Iron Man, and Spider-Man's like, do he want to fill these shoes? Do he want to do this? And so some of the stuff that involves with the CGI comes from that part of the storyline, which I'm like, oh, that CGI is not that good, but okay. And that's the other part about the sports section, how much Iron Iron Man plays a part in this movie. Another thing, the music in this movie is great. I like the music. I feel like the Spider-Man really has the original Spider-Man theme. They kind of use a little different Spider-Man theme, and I felt like it was like bits and pieces of the Iron Man song soundtrack or his theme song with the Spider-Man theme song. That could have been me though. And she sees the movie in theaters. I'm gonna say, yeah, you can watch this movie in theaters. I don't think you're actually no. You definitely should watch the movie in theaters for the two end credit scenes and the last part of this movie I'm gonna talk about extensively in the spoilers section. Grading time. I'm gonna grade Spider-Man Far From Home. I want to say Far From Home a C+. And the reason why is because the drag in the first part of the movie. This movie drags on in the first half of this movie, and then this part I'm going to talk about in the spoiler section why I'm going to go into why that C+ really, why I gave it a C+, because this movie is kind of hard to explain without giving away the movie. So, but as far as up front, it's going to be a C+ because one, the beginning of the movie is really slow. It kind of drags out. But once it gets to that second end of Act 2 and picks up, it goes. And it's like, okay, this is just more than just a regular average movie. It's average as far as superhero movies, but it picks up towards the end. So I gave it a C+ and not B-. CGI in certain parts of the movie, beginning of the movie was kind of choppy. Didn't really like it. Looked really like video game-ish. I'll talk more about that in the spoilers section. A lot of this stuff I gotta talk about in the spoilers section because it's so much to reveal. Even the bad guys playing was like, huh. So that's it for the non-spoilers section. Now, we'll talk about in the spoilers section in a few moments. Welcome back. All right, let's get into this movie big time because there's a lot of stuff I already talk about that I can't talk about in the spoilers section. I can't talk about non-spoilers section. I can talk about the spoilers section. I'm gonna knock these two out the way right now. The end credit scenes. The first end credit scene. There's two of them. We want to stick around for. The first one, J.K. Simmons back as Jonah Jameson as JJ, which I thought was great. Spider-Man gets revealed as Peter Parker to the rest of the world. Not only does he reveal as Peter Parker to MJ in the movie, he also gets revealed to Peter Parker as the rest of the world by Mysterio. Now, Mysterio is the villain, which I will get to that in a moment. So, the end of this movie, Spider-Man is now kind of considered a world menace now because of the events that happened in this movie. It's Far From Home. Second end credit scene, you find out that Nick Fury is actually not Nick Fury in this movie, but he's actually a Skrull who's playing Nick Fury. Nick Fury's on vacation somewhere out of space doing some work. So those are two things I think they're kind of funny. You should sit back or to make a big impact for the next upcoming movie. Now let me talk about the villain and Actually, let me talk about the first part before I get to the villain. So the first part of this movie, Quentin Beck, who Jake Gyllenhaal plays, is Mysterio. Now Mysterio, if you know this from comic book history, Spider-Man history, is a villain of Spider-Man. He's a villain. So when the trailer portrayed him as a good guy, I was like, oh, that's not gonna last long. There's a twist right there, and that is the twist in the movie. Jake Gyllenhaal does a great job playing Mysterio. He is phenomenal as Mysterio. And I wanted more of this character. And the illusions that are done in this movie are phenomenal, which I'll talk about in a sec. That's the end of Act 2 onto Act 3. But the first part of this movie where Spider-Man trying to talk to MJ and trying to find a way to confess to MJ that he loves her, all this stuff. And there's another guy named Brad who he didn't get blimped. And when the 5-year gap happened in Endgame, he grew up and all the chicks were going after him. He was trying to talk to MJ. And I guess his character just a little bit antagonist to Peter Parker, but he didn't really add to the movie. He was just not there, so his scene was completely unnecessary. There's a scene where Spider-Man gets a new outfit, he puts a strip down to change his clothes into the new outfit, and Brad walks in on Spider-Man trying to change it from a German spy. He's a German spy. He walks in on Spider-Man and the lady, and he's like, took a picture of Peter Parker saying like, oh, Peter Parker is some kind of, adult worker, escort, and he might have told this to MJ so she knows the truth, and Peter's like, oh, no, it's a lie, I'm not doing this. So Peter gets his glasses from Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, gives him these glasses that Tony Stark left behind that says, even after death, I'm the hero. which is Edith. It's some glasses, and on the glasses, Peter Parker can access Tony Stark's stuff and see what's going on in people's phones and stuff like that. So he actually calls a drone strike on Brad and end up jumping out, stopping the drone strike, but the drone came in, looked so fake CGI, like a video game CGI. And I was like, this is a better movie than this. How could you? What's going on? And the whole high school thing, I get it. Peter Parker anguish and trying to figure out how to ask the girl out and all this stuff. I get it's part of his character, but it was really just like dragged out and unnecessary. To me, I didn't. The whole Brad thing, let me try to get Peter Parker up to MJ, and MJ kept finding ways to avoid him or do some crazy thing where every time he was so close to saying something would happen versus like, oh, Brad's there, Brad this, Brad that, who adds nothing to the movie. Hey, Flash Thompson, who's played by, where is he at? Tony Revolori, didn't really have much of a part in this movie. Like, unlike the first movie, he was more of the jerk. This movie, he was just social media kid. Okay. Now, that's the part of the movie I didn't like. The first half of this movie, I really didn't like it all. It was just dragged out. It was cool with the Mysterio trying to call the multiverse and say he's from another dimension. And they do actually reference Earth 616 and all the other stuff and all that stuff. And they said like the elementals are destroying his planet, destroy my planet, I came here to save this world kind of thing. And they believed it, which makes sense because, you know, the effect, the in-game stuff situation, Infinity War situation, hey, anything's possible in Marvel. And the Skrulls who took over Nick Fury, who pretended to be Nick Fury, like he's from outer space, so he doesn't really know how Earth works. He's like, oh, that makes sense to me. So they destroy the elementals, and Quentin sacrificed himself, so-called, to gain the trust of Spider-Man, so Spider-Man can give Edith, which I'm not sure how he would know that Nick Fury had Edith to give it to Spider-Man, but apparently he knew this was going to happen. So Mysterio hurts himself, pretend he's a good guy, and he gets Edith from the smart tech from Peter Parker. Now when he does this, the movie flips, literally flips. It goes from boring to, okay, Mysterio is here, which Mysterio, he brought a bunch of people from different movies. Like he was in Civil War and he made these similar to the illusion system that Tony Stark talked about in Civil War. He made that called Barf, and so he was upset at Tony Stark for making Barf and firing him. And brought other people who Tony Stark fired and let go over the years, so like that. So I had a grudge against Tony Stark. But for some reason, it's all in Germany. I believe it's Germany, not Belgium. One or two countries. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. But the fact that it was there at the same time, I was like, okay, how they get there? What are they doing here? And they all help make the illusions of the elementals. So elementals not real. They use drones to pretty much make illusions, and they use like holograms and drones to make the illusions real and the attack scene real. Which I was like, okay, that's pretty neat. But their reason for what they was doing, like, okay, we're gonna strike London, we're gonna kill thousands of people so we can show the world that Mysterio's a new Avenger and we get a new hero. Which is kind of like Syndrome and freaking Incredibles. That's why I saw like, oh, it was a Syndrome who wanted to create these robots to kill all the heroes. And so when he can sell his tech as a hero to make money off of it, Quentin Beck, Mysterio kind of want to do the same thing to show the way he's the new superhero and give the people hope. And I was like, so you're not really a bad guy, you're just misguided? Okay. All right. I guess I get that. I guess I understand where you're coming from. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But anyway, so he wasn't a petty thief or magician like he is in the comic books. He was just a guy who had a grudge against Tony Stark. Which adds to my case of why I don't like Tony Stark. Because Tony Stark has caused so many issues. He has caused the bad guy in Iron Man 2, the bad guy in Iron Man 3. He has caused Ultron and Avengers 2. He has caused the issues in Civil War. He has caused... what's other issues he did in other movies? Oh, I can't think. There's so much that Tony Stark done that people just can't not like Tony Stark. So they're always going after him. And like, Tony, if you just keep your head out of things, you will be okay. But no, I'm really thinking you're the main antagonist to the Avengers. Looking at you, Tony Stark. But yeah, so another grudge match, and the movie's more about Iron Man and Peter Parker trying to live up to Iron Man instead of Peter Parker being Peter Parker or Peter Parker being Spider-Man. It's more them Peter Parker and Spider-Man trying to be Iron Man, which I didn't like. I was like, get the emphasis off of Iron Man, put the emphasis on Spider-Man. This is a Spider-Man movie, not Iron Man movie. Even in the ship, when towards the end, Peter Parker makes a new Spider-Man costume. He uses Iron Man's tech to make a new Spider-Man costume to fight Mysterio. Which, by the way, the end of Act 2, and towards the end, where Spider-Man uses Spider-Sense again, the illusions that Mysterio did for Spider-Man, oh my gosh, it was so good. Like, this is probably one of my favorite scenes in recent Marvel history, because the Marvel MCU, because it was so good. Like, you had things for the comic books where like Peter Parker stuck in, or Spider-Man stuck in Mysterio's globe, and like he's bouncing all over the place, and he's doing like the zombie Iron Man and all these different things where he makes himself big and makes himself small, and then tricks Spider-Man multiple times using illusions. I think it's phenomenal. And then towards the end, Mysterio gets these drones. He has like a hallway full of drones, and Spider-Man's like facing Mysterio down the hallway, and then Mysterio put the illusions on, and the hallway goes black, and all of a sudden you see Spider-Man like in color, knocking out stuff, punching stuff left and right, dodging stuff, breaking stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. It's such a cool movie. And Mysterio gets shot, but before he dies, he tells the world that Spider-Man is Peter Parker and reveals him as a fraud, or not, reveals him as a villain kind of thing, which he's not. I thought it was a cool twist at the end of the movie. What else I want to talk about? The MJ Peter Parker romance story. It was kind of cool. MJ suspected, Spider-Man to be Peter Parker, and she figured it out kind of 50% of the way, and kind of gets revealed that, oh yeah, okay, so she figures it out on her own, but really they wanted to tell each other they like each other. I thought that was pretty cool. I like the way that was handled. I didn't have a complaint with that, and pretty much the rest, the end of Act 2 and the rest of Act 3 was, first of all, I give this movie a C+. Other than that, Act 1 and the beginning of Act 2 was really dry. But this movie, other than that, was like, the ending part of the movie was what leaves you that feeling of like, okay, it was a great feeling at the end. It left you with a good yes feeling versus a good So the movie does progress, but at the same time, because it progressed, the first and second act should be able to keep you up and keep going. Versus it kept you up, but it was like a slow build up to that. It was like versus so, and I felt about it. So to me, I'll put this movie in the same range of Wonder Woman. I think I gave Wonder Woman a C+, if not a C. And the reason why, because the third act ended the movie for me. The first and second act was great, and the third act was bad. And this movie's a flip. The first act is not good at all. The second act is and then the end of the second act to the rest of the movie is like, yes! So, yeah, that's how I feel about Spider-Man Far From Home, and I can't think of anything else to say about this movie. That's about it. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. I really appreciate it. What did you guys think of Spider-Man Far From Home? And who's your favorite Spider-Man villain? Let me know. Put in the comment section below. See you guys next time. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about my series. Tell a friend about Grind Towards Success. Tell a friend about the Movie Breakdown series. If you really like these episodes, I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. It means so much. I can't tell you how much it means. Like it's like I'll be really grateful you just told a friend and share and subscribe to the series. And thank you guys for watching this. Also, if you want to follow my journey outside of YouTube or Facebook, you can go to my Instagram page, and you can follow me on my Instagram page at Ali_Zaka. It's right here. Put it right here in my face. That way you're like, where's his face at? Well, it's right behind the Instagram logo. Yeah, but you can follow me on my Instagram page. And also, if you want another episode of Grind Towards Success or Movie Breakdowns, you can watch the episode of Grind Towards Success right here. You can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time. Keep being awesome.